Hey everyone, thanks to King Bean, I'm picking up this book. It is Presto and Zephyr Save the World. Well, actually, they just saved some silly humans, but that's still pretty cool. And it says on the back here, this book was probably actually written by a rat. We're not exactly sure, but it seems likely. The world is in peril. Evil masterminds want to replace all the pet food with their own secret and disgusting recipe. It's up to a loyal dog named Presto and a brave rat named Zephyr to find their missing humans and thwart the evildoers. Now, this book was recommended by King Bean on Marty Mouse House, and yeah, it was read to him. Well, today, I'm going to read this book to somebody else. Who am I going to read it to? Well, I'm going to read it to New Minions! Here is one new minion, and his name is Thierry. And this is his brother, Dutch, minion number 2. And last, but not least, minion number 3, Pops. He lost all his hair. He's a good boy, though. Alright, now I'm going to read this book, so I'll see you in a little bit, minions. Bye. Alright, boys, time to read. Alright. This book is dedicated to all our furry friends, past, present, and future. Alright, boys. Oh, you want to sit on Daddy's lap? Okay. Hey, let's go over here. Ooh. Let me skadoodle noodle. And let's readjust the camera. Alright. Here we are, boys. One lovely day in the lovely town of Tasselbottom Downs, Presto the Wonder Dog was playing catch by himself in his backyard. With his favorite blue ball held tightly between his teeth, Presto would leap up into the air and throw the ball across his big backyard. His big pink tongue would flop out of the side of his mouth as he ran after the ball. But on this second of this minute, of this hour, on this day, when Presto launched his ball into the air, it flew all the way across the lawn and rolled under the azalea bush. Presto stuck his nose deep under the bush, sniffing for his ball, when from out of the branches jumped a beautiful brown rat. The rat leapt onto Presto's nose and stood up tall. In her hand was a small branch covered with prickly thorns. "Ho, ho!" she squeaked. "Stay back, you beast, or else I shall poke you!" Presto looked cross-eyed at the brave little rat and said, "How am I supposed to stay back if you're standing on my nose?" "Oh dear," squeaked the little rat. "I hadn't thought of that. Oh, bother! Oh, drat! Oh, phooey!" "Hey," barked Presto, "I recognize you. You live next door, don't you? I've seen your human walking around with you on her shoulder." The little brown rat perked up. "Oh, yes, that's right. Zephyr is my name. Pleased to meet you and greet you." With that, Zephyr gave a sweeping bow. Suddenly, Zephyr stood up again with a start. "My human!" she peeped. "My human has gone missing! I've been looking high and low and in your azalea bush, but she's nowhere to be found." "That's dreadful," said Presto. "I can only imagine how worried I'd be if my human went missing. Say, let's go look for her together." Presto thought for a moment. "I only have one favor to ask you." "Anything," squeaked Zephyr. "Could you get off my nose?" Presto asked, "before my eyes get stuck this way?" So, with a tiny alley-oop, Zephram grabbed a hold of Presto's ear and swung herself onto his back. First, I want to let my human know I'm going out, said Presto. When they got to the front door, Presto thought for a moment. No offense, little rat, but maybe you should stay outside. Zephram barely heard what Presto said, as she was staring at some potted plants on the porch. No problemo, she said. I'll stay here and smell these violets. Yeah. She has little violets in her eyes. She's hungry. So Presto went inside to find his human. He looked in one room, and another, and another, and another, but his human was nowhere to be found. You liking the story so far? Yeah. Presto came running back outside. My human is missing too, he cried. Suddenly, Presto came to a halt. He began sniffing the air. Do you smell that, he asked. Is it pizza, asked Zephram. Jeez, I hope it's pizza. Pizza? Someday you boys are going to get some pizza too. Mm-hmm. Yeah? You're going to like pizza, ain't you? Mm-hmm. No, said Presto. I think I smell my human. And yours too. They went this way. Hop aboard! Zephram leapt onto Presto's back, and they went running down the street, hot on the trail of their humans. They finally came to a big, old, ugly building. All the doors were locked up tight, and all the windows were dark. What do we do now, wondered Presto. Zephram sniffed at the doors. Sheesh, I'm a rat, and this door's made of wood. I don't understand, said Presto. How will we get in? Zephram smiled, flashing her big, orange front teeth. I chew! That's what I do! And presently she got right to work, gnawing her way through the door. Got the old yucky building there, and Presto's nice little teeth, Zephram's nice orange teeth. Soon enough there was a hole, just big enough for Presto to squeeze through. Wow, that was fast! Presto marveled. You should see what I can do to a piece of cheese, answered Zephram. Why, if I had a piece of cheese as big as this door... Zephram trailed off as her eyes grew dreamy and a funny little smile spread across her face. And she dreams of eating a big cheese. Boy, do you keep hiding from the camera? Why is that? Presto waved his front paw in front of Zephram's eyes. Hey, Earth-to-Ratty, snap out of it, he growled. We've got humans to find. Walking as quietly as they could, the two followed the scent trail through the building. Soon they began to smell something else in the air. Something altogether different from the cozy, familiar scents of their humans. Something horrible, like a blend of all the gross foods you'd never want to eat all mixed into one terrible smell. I don't even think that smells good, said Presto, and I like to eat things from the trash. Yuck! That smells like sweaty gym socks, onions, and burps, said Zephram. P.U. Hey, boys, you smelling new stuff, too? I hope you're not smelling sweaty gym socks. They came to a room full of machines. They were moving, spinning, buzzing, and whirling. The machines were putting a greasy brown paste into shiny silver cans. Further into the room, a different machine was putting labels on the cans. The labels read, Warren's Wonder Pet Food. A delicious blend for any and all pets. You'll never have to feed them anything else. Ever. Delicious, eh? Said Zephram. I'll be the judge of that. Using her teeth, she cut a hole into the top of one of the cans and stuck her head inside. Let me tell you, if it's possible, for a brown rat to look green. That's just the way Zephram looked when she pulled her head out of the can. There seemed to be tears in her eyes. There was the yucky can, and there was the brown rat turning green. Did you know, she said in a very small voice, that rats aren't able to throw up? Even to eat something really gross. She sighed and shook her head. I've never wanted to barf so much in my life. This stuff is awful. She stood there with her tongue hanging out and looked around the room. "I'll be right back," she mumbled as she scurried across the floor. "I have to get this taste out of my mouth. I need to find a dirty corner to lick." Are y'all excited, boys? Zephram came back looking slightly less green and wearing a little dusty beard, and the two began to explore the rest of the building. They came to a room with a whole bunch of humans in it. They were all sitting at tables with plates in front of them. But what were they eating? Was it yummy helpings of something delicious and so good to eat? No, it was heaping lumps of Warren's Wonder pet food. Looking closer, Presto and Zephram saw that the humans were chained to the tables. They were all being forced to eat it, and there, sitting next to each other, were their humans. "You can't do this to us!" "Shh, we're getting a free meal." Just as Presto and Zephram were wondering what in the world was going on, two men in shiny suits came walking by. Our two heroes hid, but they could still hear what the men were saying. There's the humans chained up to the table, and there we have Presto and Zephram. Ooh, look at you, you're on the edge of the cell. You just can't wait to hear what happens next, right, boys? One of the men was very tall and skinny. The other man was short and plump and was holding a very strange-looking hat. The tall man was saying, "This was such a good idea, forcing humans to eat our pet food so we can make sure it's safe for animals. And with the help of your mind eraser hat, the humans will never remember." The short man spoke up. "Yes, and then we'll take over all the other pet food companies. Our pet food will be the only thing any pet eats. Today, Castlebottom Downs. Tomorrow, the world." Then the short man began to laugh, and it sounded like this. "Mo-ho-ho-ho-ho." And the tall man began to laugh, and it was like this. Tee-hee-hee-hee. Both laughs were, really annoying. Zephram and Presto looked at each other. They knew what had to be done. Zephram raced under the feet of the men into the dining room and over to the table where her humans sat. The men were startled and began to run after her, but just then Presto jumped up from behind them, grabbed the mind eraser hat with his teeth, and ran down the hall with the two men chasing closely. Presto ran as fast as he could until he saw he was coming to the end of the corridor. As he approached the wall, he leapt up into the air and threw the hat into the big white wall. The hat broke into 100 different pieces. Here he is getting the hat, and boom, he broke it. "Why, you no good mangy mud! I'm gonna do to you what you did to my hat!" The humans are very mad, and Presto is scared. But we know these men were bad. So good job, Presto. But then a voice from behind them, the men said, "I don't think so." And before they knew it, the men were wrapped up head to toe in chains. Presto and Zephram's humans were free and had nabbed the bad guys. "Oh, little Z, you helped save the day. If you hadn't gnawed through that chair, we'd have never gotten free to nab the bad guys. And you too, Presto. I always knew you were so brave. Good boy." Aww. Zephram and Presto saved the day. Well, just some silly humans, but it's okay. That night there was a big party to celebrate. Presto and Zephram saving the world from disgusting pet food. All the pets in the neighborhood came by to thank them, and the party went very late. After everyone left, Presto and Zephram's humans called for the two little heroes. Where were they? Had they disappeared now, too? Finally, the furballs were found, their bellies full of tasty things, curled up and fast asleep after their first big day of adventure. I got to eat some pizza. All right. And they didn't have to eat the yucky pet food. And that is Presto and Zephram Save the World. Well, actually they just saved some silly humans, but that's still pretty good. And that book was read to our new minions, Teary, Mr. Pops. And Dutch. They're named after a Gold Squadron from Star Wars, so, thanks for saying hi to the minions, and, take care and have a good one, and see you around. Bye!